It's Leslie, host of the Why Not Today podcast. And today you get me sharing about vision boards. And before we start to talk about vision boards, I had an aha moment, or what I call a Why Not Today moment recently, and putting together my vision board. And I have all made them for years in goal posters, but it's really been an exercise of cut out things, put it on a poster board, and then hope for the best. And so this year did a different strategy, and that was I actually spent time planning and reflecting and really strategizing what I want on my vision board instead of just cutting out pictures. And then from there, I could create the vision board. So what I'm going to do today is walk you through how to create a vision board and give you the tools to help you make an effective vision board for 2026 and make 2026 an amazing year for you. So let's jump right into it. Um, so vision board. Let's talk about creating your vision board. So first, what I have found is that, as I said, you really want to take the time to pause, reflect, and intentionally create your vision for the year ahead. So if you've ever made a vision board and it felt like fun in the moment but didn't quite stick, this episode will change how you approach the process. So before we begin, I want to name something gently. Many of us have spent the last few years focused on keeping up, going through, or getting through and doing what was needed to get done. I think we've been surviving instead of dreaming. Sometimes we just have to intentionally give ourselves permission to slow down and dream again. And that's exactly why I created the Why Not Today Vision Board Workbook. And if you're watching it, this is the cover and this is what it looks like. And it's a 13-page workbook. So it's a gift for you guys. So if you're listening to this episode, you can download the workbook for free. There's a link in the show notes, and I'll remind you about it again as we go. But today I'm going to walk you through the workbook step by step so you can use it the way it was designed as a process that leads to clarity, intention, and action. And I can tell you, I had so much fun putting this together and then spending the time going through it. And my vision board is ready, and I'm ready to attack the new year. So if you have the workbook and you've downloaded already, go ahead, grab it, print it out. If not, pause the episode, download it, and come back. Or you can print it out later and just kind of listen and then walk you through the workbook. But all right, so first, before you jump right in, you need to get prepared. Before you write a single word, cut out a picture, the workbook actually invites you to prepare intentionally. So this is not something to rush through between meetings or late at night while you're multitasking or tired. The workbook suggests schedule at least 90 minutes of uninterrupted time. Now, I did it in two settings. One was a reflection in one day, and I took about 90 minutes. And the second, I did my planning or strategizing for the new year. So it may take a little bit longer, but change your scenery or step away from the clutter. Turn off the distractions, your phone, create the atmosphere with music, something that helps you relax, maybe a candle. And actually in the workbook, I have a QR code you can download with a Spotify playlist I created for you. And then give yourself permission to go deep. And this matters because clarity doesn't come from forcing answers, it comes from presence. So before you move forward, make a commitment to yourself to treat this process with care. It's a gift for you that you get to wrap that's going to give back to you in the new year. So first you want to do a year-end review. And this is so important and powerful. And these days we have our life on our phone usually. So do a digital discovery um, with a photo scroll, or you can also use your calendar and go through what did you do? Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I don't remember what I did or ate yesterday, let alone in January. And I've always been pleasantly surprised at all the good that happened throughout the year. Um, so this is where you scroll through your pictures, your social media, digital memories from the past year, and notice what stands out. You're looking for moments that made your body respond, moments that brought a smile, a sense of pride, peace, and joy. Often the bad stuff stays in our memory stronger, but there's so many good times. So the workbook actually breaks it into categories. What are the happy times and joy in your life last year or this year? Accomplishments, big and small. Let's celebrate everything. Experiences and adventures. I often create a photo book for my mom and sister on our adventures for the year. And I literally just go through my phone and pull all the pictures and create a photo book. So as you scroll, write down the moments that instantly made you feel good. And this is power because it bypasses overthinking and taps into what actually mattered. So take the time. You can do it now, pause the podcast, or come back to it, whatever works best for you. And then I want you to take an emotional snapshot, finding your true self. So the notebook or the workbook, sorry, guides you into an emotional snapshot of your year. You choose one word that captures the overall theme of the year. Now, I often pick a year for the next year, my word of the year, but it's also let's go back and see how was your year? Um, and reflect on the moments that when you felt anchored, that you felt expanded, that maybe you felt soft, brave, and alive. And these prompts help you notice not just what you did, but how you felt. And the workbook then asks, looking at these reflections, what version of you was most present in your best moments? And that question is key because the version of you that felt most alive is the version your vision board should support. And so, again, you can take time to fill this section out or come back to it. And then step 3 is extracting your lessons and your growth. So the workbook invites you to zoom out. Now, how have you personally changed over the past year? Have your desires shifted? What did you learn about yourself? This is where insight begins to form. You're not just judging the year, you're learning from it. These lessons become the foundation of what comes next. All right, so now we get to start dreaming for the new year, your future intentions. So Mel Robbins often talks about, and it's been studied many times, called the 5 Why method. So it helps you uncover the deeper reason why you want what you want. So the workbook walks you through 4 areas of your life. And remember, this vision board is not just business and it's not life. You're all intertwined in everything. So first you're going to look at career and financial goals, and then health and wellness, relationships and connection, and then personal growth and adventure. And actually, if I was thinking about it, I'd probably flip them and go the opposite way, but it's already done. So in each area, you start with something you want. Then you ask why 5 times. So this process moves you from surface goals to core desires. For example, you want more money might lead to security, freedom, confidence, or peace. So you just keep asking why, and why do you want that, and why do you want that? And that core desire is what belongs on your vision board. So take your time here. This is where the clarity deepens. And you can, again, stop and do it now or come back. All right. So embodied vision and action is the next part. Activate your becoming. Now the workbook shifts from your thinking to being. And the section asks powerful questions such as, how do I desire to feel every morning? I wake up in the morning, put my arms in the air, and say out loud, today is going to be a great day. I declare it before my feet hardly hit the floor. How do you, or what energy supports you in love, wealth, well-being, leadership, and lifestyle? What emotions do you choose to cultivate? And what are you ready to expand into? And this is about the energy of the person you are becoming. Your vision board is not just about what you want, it's about who you're stepping into. And so again, you can stop and do this now or come back. So gathering images and energetic codes. So the workbook then guides you to choose images that match your energy of your becoming. Images that feel like peace, strength, confidence, clarity, freedom, vitality, and overflow. It encourages you to choose images that make your body and your heart say yes. You can also add energetic words and feelings that states like clear, courageous, anchored, radiant, on purpose, becoming, and of course, action oriented with some why not today. And this ensures your board resonates emotionally, not just intelligently. So some people do a big, huge poster board. You can do a small one. You get to decide. I know people have done them on Canva, but they actually say the process of cutting out the pictures, taping them on, helps them stick in your unconscious. So what I do is take it one step further. I create my vision board on my poster board, cut out my pictures, and make it pretty. I'm one that likes to fill space, so I often fill it with probably too many things. So, and use a marker, stickers, whatever gives you joy. And then what I usually do with my vision board is I keep it sitting in my bedroom where I do my devotions and reading in the morning so I can see it. But then I also click a picture of it and then print it out and include it strategically around my house so I can see it. Also put in the front of notebooks if you have a notebook you're using. And so it's in front of you. Some people's vision boards are perfectly symmetrical. Some are a hot mess, and it's okay. It's who you are. And don't do any vision board shaming. Your vision board is for you. and you alone, and you need to feel it. And I know I've done a couple trainings on vision boards, and it does work, but you do have to be intentional. You have to know what you want to put on it. So many times I've heard people that put things on their vision board and then kind of forget about it and look again, and it's happened. Um, or sometimes I've done this many times where I had a goal or a vision that was on my vision board, and I had to leave it there for a couple of years before it actually came to fruition. But I kept it there, and eventually I reached that goal. So it gets to be however you want, and it's your masterpiece, and you get to have fun with it. So before you create that final board, the workbook. Oh, actually, back to the pictures and stuff that you're cutting out. Um, Amazon actually has vision board magazines you can get. So that's what I did. If you're local to me and you want to come and do a vision board event with me, let me know. Or we could do a pop-up at my house. I've got all the materials, so I'm here to help you. And remember, if you haven't printed out or downloaded this workbook, that is your gift from me. All right, so before creating the final board, the workbook asks you to reflect on the habits, beliefs, and energy that align with your next version of you. Then you create your vision board as a reflection of your internal state and desired future. The workbook closes with a powerful activation statement. Of course, I am becoming the woman or man my future has been waiting for. Why not today? And I encourage you to put that statement on your board, which I'm going thinking back. I didn't put that on mine. I need to go back and do it. I actually did mine with my word of the year for next year in the center and everything else around it. One idea is if you do have some pictures that speak to you that you want to print out, I send them to Walgreens and have them print them and put them on my board. So there's lots of tricks to make this work. And then if this process resonated with you, remember, you download your vision board workbook for free using the link below. And the workbook was created to help you slow down, gain clarity, and move forward with intention and courage. So take your time with it, return to it often, let it guide you, not rush you. And your next chapter is waiting, and you will be ready for it. And why not today? So if this is your first time listening or watching the Why Not Today podcast, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And this was started, gosh, almost 4 years ago as a tribute to my dad's legacy, who he often said, "Why not today?" And it's the podcast is here to support entrepreneurs to take bold action, clear steps to start a business, get unstuck, or grow with more clarity, confidence, and courage. And each week you'll either hear an episode like you did today with me, a solo episode, or guest interviews where people share the ups and downs, the messy middles of entrepreneurship. It's not a straight line for sure. And so I don't edit the episodes purposely because that's part of the Why Not Today message. So thank you again for joining me today. And this is your space for practical tools, real encouragement, and courageous growth. So whether you're launching something new or navigating a pivot, I hope you're leaving today's episode with a clear next step and a reminder that you're not alone. And anything you want to know about Why Not Today, past podcast episodes, events, things I host, or I have a Why Not Today inner circle to support entrepreneurs. And if you're interested in more about that, it's all on my website at whynotTodayMovement.com. And this podcast is your bridge from inspiration to action. And I'm here with you to walk you every step of the way. And if this episode spoke to you, share with a friend, a colleague, a child, not a little one, but a grown child, and somebody else that feels like they need some dreaming again in their life. And it might be a fun exercise to do over the holidays with a friend. I did this one year with a friend of mine. We got an Airbnb in Middleburg, Virginia, and it was before the holidays, and they had a crackly fireplace, and we sat there and planned and dreamed together. So it's often fun to do it with somebody else. So thanks again for listening or watching and being a part of the Why Not Today family and the Why Not Today movement. And let me know what your vision is. Let me take a picture of your vision board and share it with me. I am here to support you all the way. All right. Thanks again.